Like they're getting gold, bronze, and silver. Like
Simone
the
Biles
fact,
level.
notice usually when you're manipulative, you say the exact opposite of what you're doing. Yeah, I'm just here as a journalist, ignore the fact that I covered for these guys. I was invited out by them because of my leanings. Um, like it's like the argument that if you go and you commit prostitution, and if you just put a camera up, you're just making a movie. That's kind of like what's going on here. He's like, yeah, I'm not an activist. I'm a well-known journalist, so you know, put my camera in it, and it's just porn now. It's not activism. It's not violating the Face Act. It's just porn.
Man, it's a wild thing. It's like, bro, he should know better. But let's
He
get into
does
what
know
she.
better. It's not he should know better. He does know better, which is what makes it worse. He knows better, and he's being malicious.
Hey, man, TDS is one hell of a thing. But all right, though, let's get back to it.
Former CNN anchor turned independent journalist Don Lemon appeared in federal court this afternoon to face charges related to a live streaming report he did at a protest during a church service in St. Paul, Minnesota. Here's what he told reporters afterwards.
Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them.
Yes, but countless other journalists never took it upon themselves to go inside of a church and be a part of a protest. I mean, they knew better than that. I mean, you could be outside of the church, you'd have been good. But as soon as you went inside and then was dumb enough to put yourself on camera inside in front of a pastor's face, you kind of screwed yourself. I mean, I'll be real with you. That was pretty dumb. And I don't know why you thought it was a good thing to do, but
going inside of a church is not the news.
Like literally. But this is what literally happened.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
And he found out. And for some reason, the Dems are upset. My First Amendment is like, this has nothing to do with freedom of speech. Yeah, nothing to do with freedom of speech. I want to let y'all know that. This has everything to do with the FACE Act and how you can't violate other people's freedom of speech on the guidelines of your own. Like
your rights end where mine begin. There's no overlap. You don't get to violate my rights to exercise yours.
Man, and shout out to my man JD's like, I tell Don to pucker up for jail because he can't do too loose. Well, Jesus Christ, about like this man's about to meet the booty warrior or something.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just might.
He's going to cheat on his husband.
And I will not be silent. I look forward to my day in court.
Well, along with Don Lemon, 3 other people were arrested, including Minnesota independent journalist Georgia Fort. She went before a judge today. She joins us tonight. We'll have that interview in a moment. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the arrests are connected to a, quote, coordinated attack on City's church nearly 2 weeks ago. But Lemon and Ford say they were doing their jobs as journalists and were not protesters. All 4 arrested are charged with 1 count of conspiracy against right of religious freedom at place of worship, and 1 count of injure, intimidate, and interfere with exercise of right of religious freedom at place of worship. In announcing their arrests on social media this morning, Bondi used the words, quote, at my direction, which is not what you typically see from an attorney general. The White House has posted this photo with the words, when life gives you lemons, along with a chain emoji. President Trump has been critical, obviously, of Don Lemon for years. Lemon himself has not been shy in calling out the president and his administration. A magistrate judge had initially refused to allow federal officials to arrest Lemon and take him into custody, but they took it to a grand jury in Minnesota and got a felony indictment. The indictment, unsealed this afternoon, alleges that Don Lemon and the others charged, quote, oppressed, threatened, and intimidated the church congregants and pastors. Here's some of what Lemon said during that live stream. Take a look.
I'm just here. I'm just here photographing.
Are you okay?
I'm not part of the group. I'm just here photographing. I'm a journalist. We don't know. That's what they're saying. So we're here just chronicling and reporting We're not part of the activists, but we're here just reporting on them.
Don Lemon's
If
attorney.
you
released a
wait,
statement saying,
wait.
This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to.
If you say things loud enough times, people must believe you because that's the truth.
Well, man, look. Apparently, when it comes to Don Lemon, it's a bit weird with this one because I mean, let's say this. Let's say that man Jake Lang. I mean, I like him too much, but he knows better than to go inside of a mosque doing what he's doing. Like he knows better.
He does it all outside of a mosque.
Exactly. So why would this? If I have that same criticism for him, why would y'all think it would be acceptable for Don Lemon to do so? If this was Jake Lang or Nick Shirley doing this, you guys lose your minds and y'all be ready for them to go to jail.
Oh
so
my
as soon
God.
as this one of y'all all of a sudden the law don't apply.
Set. We know what they did to Jake Lang. They stabbed him.
Man, they hit that man upside the head with a brick. I was like, yo,
stabbed him
in the same place. Did they stab him? Yeah,
he wasn't even F it. They'll say. He wasn't even at a church. He was just protesting. But that's what they do. But Don Lemon, because he's fucking got a shiny forehead, somehow he's above the law.
I mean, bro, he's a black liberal. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like you got special like privileges as a black liberal sometimes.
Distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. When agents showed up at Georgia Fort's door yesterday, she started recording. Here's some of her message.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now.
Awesome.
This is all
good.
So, remember right after the Nick Shirley daycare video popped out, what was CNN's headline?
Wait, hold on. Nick Shirley. Hold on. Say that again.
Yeah, I'm drawing a contrast. Just bear with me. When
Gotcha.
Nick Shirley's video on the Minnesota daycare fraud came out, how did they introduce Nick Shirley?
MAGA.
As a right-wing YouTuber.
Yep, MAGA YouTuber.
Now run it back like 4 seconds and see what the headline is on this. Yeah, no. You're good. Let it play. And I'll
at Georgia Fort's door yesterday, she started recording. Here's some of her message.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that
Georgia Fort, independent journalist. She is exactly the same thing as Nick Shirley, and Nick Shirley gets labeled as a right-wing extremist.
But what she's about to say is obviously about to be leftist, but because CNN don't want to be perceived as unbiased, they're gonna be like, let's frame her as an independent. I mean, come on now, really? But let's hear what she got to say though. Let's see if she sounds like an independent journalist.
you guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press.
It does not
feel
give
like
you
I have
immunity
my
from
First Amendment right as a member of the press, because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest.
Hold on, how are you independent? Well, I'm sorry, but you know what? All right, sure, independent, whatever.
Independent.
So you thought that was a smart idea. See, if it was her and she was the only person who did that, it would make sense because I'm like, she looks young. She probably hasn't been in the game longer than Don. So this makes sense that she would make this mistake. Don, no excuse whatsoever. Bruh.
Set. Yeah. Independent journalist does not mean you're politically independent. It just means you don't work for a fucking
I know. That's what I was.
You're an independent journalist.
Yeah. Be like independent for sure. But the problem is though with her is that it's understandable if she makes that mistake. Don Lemon, though, no. And honestly, she was rocking with Don Lemon, so she was probably looking up to her senior, going like, "Well, if it's okay with her, then I mean, if it's okay with him, then I guess it's okay for me to do it.
And then someone said every church opens the outside public coming in. Yeah, until you're loitering, until you're trespassing, until you're being violent and disruptive. You cannot do that. There's a law. It doesn't matter what I allow into my house. If I tell you to leave, the invitation has been revoked.
I mean, here's the thing. It's as simple as this. It's like, look, if they wanted to go in there and they were invited into there to worship, they'd have sat down and be quiet.
Exactly.
And then they'd politely interview the people who are leaving the church outside of the church. If that's what what they were trying to do, was to get the churchgoers' opinion on what was going on with ICE, they would do it outside of the church as they was leaving if the churchgoers wanted to. They didn't do it respectfully. They went in there to disrupt and to be in their face and to try to shame them through their religion.
And being a journalist does not mean that you just get to break those laws and then sit behind and be like, oh, I'm a member of the press. I should be allowed to break the FACE Act. I should be allowed to violate people's rights.
Nope.
Oh, the horror.
Nope. Okay. All right, shut up.
It was a live stream she did on Facebook. Journalist Georgia Fort is out of jail and joins me tonight. Georgia, first of all, how are you doing? And were you surprised that you were arrested? Obviously, previous attempts to arrest you had been blocked by federal courts.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. It is quite frightening to have 24 agents outside of your home.
That's what happens when you commit
my children
felonies.
were home with me when I was arrested. And so, yeah, it's been a long day. And yes, it was extremely shocking.
You had 24 agents show up at your door?
Yes.
That's normal.
I want to read part of what the Justice Department alleged in the indictment and let you respond. They claim, and you and the other defendants, quote, entered the church in a coordinated takeover-style attack and engaged in acts of oppression, intimidation, threats, interference, and physical obstruction, they said, and, quote, as a result of defendants' conduct, the pastor and congregation were forced to terminate the church's worship service. Congregants fled the church building, fear for their safety. Other congregants took steps to implement an emergency plan, and young children were left to wonder, as one child put it, if their parents were going to die. What is your reaction to that?
Intimidation.
Anderson, I am a journalist, just like you. I went in my capacity as a journalist. I documented as a journalist. The footage is published.
I can't wait till she's done.
You captured video of your own arrest, federal agents outside your home. Can you just talk about that experience?
As journalists, we never want to be the story. But unfortunately, I did find myself in a predicament where I felt that I needed to be able to tell my own story, that I needed the world to see that journalism is on trial, that we are at a state in our nation where if you are documenting what's happening, you may be criminalized for it. You may be arrested. And so I think
there was nothing happening in that church. Y'all was just being disruptive for no reason. It's not like you was kicking in some type of
they were creating
ring or some type of money laundering ring. You guys went in there to disturb their service and try to shame them. What journalism? What was done? What did I find out besides you guys are assholes?
In that case, if we can just hide behind labels, well, I'm acting in my capacity as an EMT, so I'm just going to strangle everybody for medicine.
Damn.
That's how much sense that makes. I'm acting in my capacity, which means you're abusing the rights that are given to you for illegal purposes. That should be an aggravating factor, not a mitigating factor. You know better. If you're going to exercise your rights, you better know where your rights end. You stepped over a line. You have been way too comfortable being liars and propagandists, and now it's bit you in the ass, and now you want to go cry First Amendment. You don't care about anybody else's First Amendment rights. If you don't care, you didn't cover the fact that the sitting president was taken off of Twitter. You didn't care about the COVID misinformation labels that were slapped on anybody that dared disagree with the guy that let the AIDS epidemic get fucking wild. You didn't care about any of that then, but now you care about the First Amendment and independent journalists. Yet you labeled Nick Shirley a right-wing hack. You label anybody you disagree with so that you can defame them, so you don't have to debate them, and then you agitate and assassinate. So I really don't have any sympathy for you. You wonder why FBI agents are surrounding your house? Because it's considered a felony arrest. What you did was a federal offense, a felony.
Easy as that, but they just don't get it. But all right, let's get back to it.
What is happening in Minnesota overall should be quite alarming to the entire nation. I think what happened to me today as an independent journalist, what happened to Don Lemon being arrested for reporting.
Go ahead.
Pause. So someone said Twitter has its own policies, you dipshit. Have you not read the Twitter files? Where the government doesn't strip your socials? You remember when they said, either you're going to comply or you're going to be shut down as a company? That's the government stripping your socials.
I mean, bro, did you not forget where even Mark Zuckerberg admitted that the Biden administration made them take down posts concerning COVID and election rigging and the Hunter Biden laptop? I mean,
but yeah, you really thought you had something on that one, didn't you?
What's happening? I think people should be alarmed, and I think mainstream.
Oh shoot, my bad. I fell back on the. Okay, I fell back a little bit on the super chat. Shout out Toe for the baller alert. Appreciate the support, Sid. She says Lemon and this chick violated FACE Act, possibly the KKK Act, were asked to leave and refuse, which is now trespassing. True. They intimidated and traumatized children, interrupted a house of worship, which is illegal. I mean, hey, she ain't say nothing wrong, but the crazy part is, for some reason, the Dems just can't get that in their head. Like, bro, take the political bias out of this. Let's pretend that Don Lemon was just I'm gonna be real with you, an independent journalist with no political affiliation. If he did this, then yes, he does need to be brought up on charges, and we can't make this the standard, because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want people on the right thinking that this is okay to do just by saying and hitting us with the, well, if Don Lemon did it, why am I getting arrested? Like, we don't need that.
Hold on one second. I gotta verify some creds here, because Mr. Sean Kearns over here, he ain't qualified to be an EMT. I'll be back in 1 minute.
That's wild. All right, and shout out to my man Jet. He said it's not a coincidence the Somali fraud gets uncovered and Minnesota is okay with rioting, storming churches, and attacking ICE along with journalists now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe me and you are thinking too deep about it. Maybe we're thinking too deep about it, Jet. Getting a bit too conspiratorial here. Maybe it is a coincidence.
Media should also be really concerned, because if they can criminalize a journalist here in Minnesota, whether you're independent or not, I think that we've seen a track record where this is just going to continue to escalate.
How do you face something like this? I mean, obviously, the federal government has unlimited resources. What is your next move, both legally and just in terms of the work you do?
I am a mother of 3 daughters. Right now, my focus is on making sure that they can.
You're a mother of 3 daughters, and you didn't double check, triple check if this was something that was acceptable. Now you're mother, you of 3 daughters. I mean, they might not have a mother because you want to make stupid mistakes or stupid choices with Don Lemon. That sucks.
And recover from the trauma of what they experienced today, and making sure that I can recover. From there, I have an incredible legal team.
And, just reading off the results of the poll, out of 367 votes, should Don Lemon be in jail? Yes, 71%. No, 29%. So about 30% of people in the chat think that Don Lemon should not be in jail for what he did at that church, but 70% of you guys do. Well, thank God. Thank God there's you guys.
Very reputable among media leaders across the country. And so I am counting on them to do what they do best.
You have no doubt that this is meant to intimidate not just yourself and Don Lemon and the others who were charged, but journalists everywhere.
I would ask you, how does it feel to you to see a journalist arrested for simply reporting the news? I would challenge every journalist in America to ask themselves how it felt to them today to see their colleagues be arrested for reporting the news. And if any of them say that it made them fearful, it made them concerned, it made them second guess going out tomorrow and covering what's happening in their communities, then yeah, I would say that that was probably the intent. It does send a chilling message to our entire industry. I've been in journalism for several years. I've been in media almost 2 decades, okay?
What?
14 regional Emmy nominations across 2 different regions. I've won 3 regional Emmys here in the Midwest.
I mean, that's great. You got a talent for it. But like, then why are you making stupid mistakes like this? You have so much experience, but you made a dumbass mistake like this. It's really hard to believe that you have. I mean, honestly, I believe it, but I'm sorry. But now it just makes it hard to believe because you made this dumbass mistake that, I mean, a reporter with your accolades should know. I mean, you got all these achievements. That's great. But it's like, what the hell were you doing following Don Lemon dumbass into this dumbass mistake that's going to cost you your career most likely? I'm like, all right. This is sad. I'm gonna be real with you.
As producing my own television show.
So, and the reason why I say it's sad is, well, one, because of the, idiocracy of it, and 2 is because, Don Lemon took down a shining star with him. That's tough.
As an independent journalist, and so, being a journalist who's from here, who's from Minnesota, I've been on the ground. This is my community. I'm not flying in and flying out. I'm here. And I'm doing the best that I can to tell the stories of what's really happening. And as an American-born citizen, it's always been my understanding that I have that protection under the Constitution, under the First Amendment, that we have a freedom of press. But today, the way that I was treated for simply doing my job, the way that I have been criminalized and dehumanized, it makes me really, really wonder if our Constitution is something of the past.
Whoa. You're not being dehumanized. You're being held accountable, baby girl. Held accountable. I know it's very foreign to you, but you're being held accountable for your actions. It'd be probably better for you if you sat there and claim ignorance and you'd probably get some grace. But yeah, you're over here doubling down is not helping you out because, once again, you were in the wrong. Not in the right, but the wrong. All right.
Are praying. Our church had gathered for worship. While people are praying.
Yes.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. Yeah. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left. So,
what do you think of this?
This is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a Constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because
not in this manner. You can't sit there and say this is peaceful protesting when you're disturbing other people's places of worship. You're yelling in their faces. Yeah, you crossed the line there.
That's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
In no way was Don Lemon pushed. He's full of it. And he's manufacturing a confrontation here.
We're here to worship. That's why we're here.
I just sent you a link on Discord. Don't bring it up because it has my personal information on there. But just Just tell me what you see in that.
All right, I got you. Hold on.
Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them?
You got my whole government
Everyone
name
is
now.
willing to talk.
Okay.
But then moments later, Lemon speaks to a parishioner and is like, why won't a pastor talk to the activists?
I think maybe if the pastor would like try to calm things down and say, let's all talk together and make this peaceful and not be so us against them.
I think that's good to talk, but then why don't we do that, right?
Yeah.
Fact check true. They had.
Oh, dang. All right. You could pull yourself up on the provider credentials search in Washington State Department of Health.
Yeah.
Nice.